You can't just hire me and then it's magically fixed. There has to be buy-in from the top down. They don't call it growing comfort. They call it growing pains. If you know that you need change, that means you have to be ready for some discomfort. A lot of people want the changed outcomes, but they don't want the changed systems. Rationalization, I would argue, is the biggest obstacle to overcome in any change management scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your best employees, your longest term employees, are the ones who are going to struggle the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you're trying to force a diet on someone who doesn't think they need one. A lot of people at the top pass the suck on to the middle. And a lot of these middle people are actually very good, very caring, and very engaged leaders. Change is another word for growth. And like I said, it's called growing pains, not growing comfort. And has that ever been successful?
No, absolutely not.
They are not going to change something unless they themselves buy into it. And that's where it's much easier to be a leader who says, I give you this edict versus I give you this cause to want to change. The way you approach it matters. And that's where leadership comes in and healthy communication comes in and understanding how to motivate people to action in positive ways. If I can make one change in the corporate world, I want to kill open door policies. To me, it is the height of corporate irresponsibility and proof of lack of management. You don't need to tell someone you have an open door if you've already been actively going to them, developing the relationship. They will go to a closed door even and knock if they already feel safe enough. It is a crutch that they say they have. They will talk about it nonstop and never do the actual actions of management, which is their job to not be behind that door. Anytime I've had a leader say they have an open door policy, it's always been a red flag in every instance that they will not have an open door. Anytime I've had a good leader or manager, they've never had to tell me they have an open door policy. It's already part of the relationship. The only time I ever had an open door policy come into play is with someone who categorically does not have one.
Maybe where the open door becomes the iron door, the invisible
glass door.
If you create silence culture, you create a data vacuum. I really do think I need to dig and look at in practice, the reimagination of open door policy and what it means to have an open door policy. I come at things from a standpoint of a benevolent universe. I don't think companies set out to be non-benevolent and have iron doors and all of this. I think that reactivity, I think that uncertainty, I think that the humanity of it and the dollars and cents of it as well creates these environments, right?
If you have suppressed reporting and you really successfully create a speak up culture, you're going to have
an increase, and that's a good thing. No news is not good news.
And a lot of people want to say, we have such a low incident report. I'm like, well, then what's happening? Why aren't you hearing more from your people?
When you let that fear take over and say, I don't want to feel this, you don't get the data. You're in this data vacuum. If you don't ask, you don't know. And yeah, there's a lot of data that comes in that's non-data. And that's okay too. But when you discover something that is true data, that's where it gets really rich. If you have a grievance, get it out into the world, set your mark. And if change can happen, change will happen.